Word on the Street podcast, bringing you the Tuesday After Tough wrap-up recap of the episode that just aired of The Ultimate Fighter. This time it's episode 4, I believe. We just saw the fight go down between Team Sonnen member Kevin Casey and Collin Hart. Unfortunately, Team Jones took this one home. But here we are to discuss it. As always, I'm here joined by my co-host Ninja, and of course, our new host, the incredible, the living legend, Coach Jamie Huey from Team Sonnen, a.k.a. Team Darkside. Now, Coach, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. How are you guys?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Ninja?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Good to hear you.
Excellent.
Good, man.
Yeah, it's
good to
good.
talk to you guys again.
Yeah, you too, man. Just anybody listening, we do this every week after the new Tough episode airs on both coasts. But yeah, it's good. It's good to know that we're all doing all right because we just suffered a loss here tonight on the episode. Coach, we just witnessed Team Sonnen, aka Team Darkside, suffer their first loss as a team, with King Kevin Casey being defeated by Collin Hart. It was a tough, grinding fight that pretty much it took place on the ground the whole time, and Kevin, he ended up coming short in the decision. Coach, can you take us back to that fight and give us your overall impression of what went wrong for Kevin Casey in this fight?
I think it was kind of like what Trail said. We just didn't really ever get going. He just Colin kind of stayed real heavy on him. I thought Kevin was winning the striking game. Kevin just didn't show up to fight, kind of. I mean, there's definitely more. Watching Kevin in practice, he's got so many tools on the ground, man. It just, not taking anything away from Colin, because Colin was really top heavy. He went out there and fought a great fight. But I don't think Kevin really rose to the level of his ability tonight.
Yeah, and I've always wondered, you being a coach, when you see something like that happen, like when you see like somebody gas out, and obviously there was a problem with cardio, you as a coach, does a part of you feel somewhat responsible? Like, man, we should have trained more cardio, or grappling. Does that happen to you? Do you have coaching guilt? Does that exist, or are you like, man, that fighter, he just didn't do it?
Not specifically for this fight.
Yeah.
I think, there's always those fights that you lose that you go back and you kind of play, Monday morning quarterback. Obviously, we could have did this, we could have did that, we should have did this, we should have did that. I don't think there's a fight that I've ever been involved with that we've lost that I didn't go back and replay it in my head 1,000 times and, think, well, and I guess I even do that victory. Even when you win, you go back and you replay it in your head 1,000 times. We won, we got this, we got that, but what could we have done better? Or what? I remember cornering was it UFC 126, and we got a knockout in the second round. And we threw a left hook, but when we threw that left hook, we kept the right hand low. And we got the knockout, but we went back and watched it, and it was, but we got to keep that right hand up because a counter to the left hook is another left hook. So, you do it in victory, you do it in defeat. In regards to this specific fight, I wish Kevin didn't follow him into the fence. He even Dana White said that he'd rally an offense. He'd go out there, he'd start letting his hands go, but then he'd end up in the clinch. So, there's things we could have did better.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Now, actually, Kevin Casey, he mentioned at the end of the show that he's still got a shot at the wild card in the Ultimate Fighter tournament. Now, without giving away any spoilers, just how exactly does the wild card system work in the Tough tournament? Because I have no idea, since this is like the first Tough season that I'm actually watching from beginning to end. So what's up with the wild card system?
Basically, how that works is both teams will get an opportunity to bring one of their guys back. So, at some point in the season, the guys that lose on our team and the guys that lose on their team, they'll have a choice to bring one of their guys back to fight one of our guys that have lost.
Nice.
And then the winner of the wild card obviously is back into the tournament. So that's kind of how that's working.
Nice. So that kind of decision to bring someone back, like, again, no spoilers, but would that be something that only Chael Sonnen would decide, or is that something that, did you all the coaches on Team Sonnen and Team Darkside, did you all make decisions together? Was it a democracy or was it a dictatorship?
No, absolutely it was a democracy. We all kind of, every single night, basically when we got back from the workouts every day, we do 2-a-days. We trained from 10 to 12, and then from I think we trained from 6 to 8. We get back to our condo probably about 9 o'clock. Everybody'd kind of get back, relax for a minute, get something to eat. And then pretty much our ritual was where we stayed, there was a hot tub down there. So the whole team, we'd end up down there at the hot tub. We'd sit down there with our bottled waters, and we'd talk about different aspects of strategies, the fight, what's going on, who we thought about this, what we thought about that. So we really had a good kind of consensus as far as everybody's what we thought, and we'd kind of go around and, what about this? We need to consider that. And so there was definitely a team environment. I mean, when we say Team Darkside, we should probably capitalize the team part because, absolutely Chael was, he was a head coach in this, and Clayton was running a lot of it, and Scott and Vinny and Mike and me. We all had our places, but as far as when it collectively came to making decisions, we really worked well as a team, and everybody had some say so.
Yeah, and it shows on the show so far. I can't say the same for Team Jones. Speaking of, on the podcast tonight, we are going to have, for the first time, you thought it would never happen, you thought it would never come to this. We are going to have a member of the Team Jones, of Team Jones, a fighter on. It's going to be Mr. Gilbert Jamal Smith, Jr. He is going to join us. We are allowing the enemy behind our lines tonight, but apparently he's actually a good guy. So we'll give him a call here in a few minutes, but I wanted to toss it to our friend and co-host, The Ninja, just to see if he had anything he wanted to hit up Coach Huey with while I prepare myself for the shock of dealing with the enemy face to face. Ninja, are you there? What's up, man?
Yeah, man. What up, Coach? How you doing?
What's happening, brother? I'm doing good, man.
Good. Tonight, man, that was a tough one. I did a lot of research on Kevin Casey's jiu-jitsu background. They touched on that. So seeing him getting grinded out like that was kind of tough for me. We talked a little bit about cardio. Do you think that was the big thing for Kevin Casey not showing up tonight, or do you think Collin Hart, not taking anything away from him, he's a good fighter, or do you think Collin just had that ground tonight?
Forgive maybe some of my ignorance on this, but kind of one thing that I've noticed in regards to when a wrestler fights a jiu-jitsu guy and it ends up a lot of clinch and ground stuff, it just seems like wrestlers really, really know how to grind. It's that constant pressure. Depending on the jiu-jitsu player, it seems like it's more of a passive kind of look for a mistake. I'm kind of generalizing. But it just seemed like Collin just kind of kept that constant pressure on him. He never gave Kevin an opportunity to get space or to breathe. I was happy to see Kevin throwing his punches because, when we were talking about the game plan, Kevin's hands looked good. He just, I don't know. I think it was just that wrestling mentality that Collin brought to the table, that it was just constant pressure every minute, every second. I always say, it's always something, never nothing. And that was kind of the way that Collin went out there and put his game plan together. He was just, and Kevin gave him a lot of credit after the fight. He said, look, man, he goes, that guy was just physically really strong. He got on top of me, and he was like, you know, he was a lot heavier than I thought. So, you know, I don't want to take anything away from Collin, and I don't want to take anything away from Kevin, but it was just one of those things that Kevin just didn't fight his fight. He didn't show up with the ability that he has, and Collin showed up and he wanted it, and that's pretty much how it went.
Mm.
My perspective on it is, you know, I saw a lot of, you know, missed chances coming from a jiu-jitsu guy, because that's where my ground is based off of, and just minimal jiu-jitsu, and I saw a lot of missed opportunities. What's up?
Oh, you got that ninjutsu stuff going on, right?
Yeah, ninjutsu is what I call it, by the way. I'm gonna trademark that. Don't steal that.
You know, you gotta be willing to take chances, and it just, I don't think Kevin took any chances. I mean, it's kind of one of those things that better to get knocked out and tried than to kind of wait and hope for something. You know what I mean? So I think it kind of came down to that.
Yeah, definitely. How was a coach, especially the coach of Shell Son and some guys you coach and train with? How do you guys prepare for? We've talked about Greg Jackson and some of his fighters a lot on the podcast, you know, and we're not too fond of Greg Jackson's that kind of, you know, lay and pray kind of style that we talked about, you know. And I'm not making any excuses for Team Darkside. You know, a loss is a loss, but how do you prepare your fighters for that kind of style?
You know, I thought that going back.
Okay, so we're back as if nothing ever happened here with Coach Jamie Huey, and we did have one more question before we tried to give Gilbert Smith a call here. Coach Huey, this is very much related to The Ultimate Fighter. We are 73 days away from UFC 159, Sonnen versus Jones for the light heavyweight championship. And I've got to ask you, will you, you know, it's pretty obvious, but will you be a part of Chael's training this time around? And if so, when does the serious training start? And can you give all of us a better idea of how that training schedule typically works in the build-up to a Chael Sonnen fight?
Yeah, part of the camp. As far as the actual date, you know, man, both John and Chael are doing a lot of, they're doing a lot of media, you know, stuff for the UFC right now. So they're pretty much together most of the time, actually, which is kind of funny. But as far as the training camp goes, yeah, Clayton ran him. We have a hill up here, OHSU. It's a big hospital, Oregon Health Science University. I guess it's a pretty renowned. Anyway, it's a large hill that goes all the way up to the top of this hospital, and it's a pretty serious run. So he did his first run of camp last week, and we're just going to keep it moving from there. So officially it's kicked off. Of course, he's got some obligations as far as media stuff, so we're kind of working around some of that. But you know, Clayton's got his hands around him, and he's ready to make it happen. So Clayton's kind of in charge of the training camp part of it, but we all kind of rally around, you know, what Clayton says is next. So
excellent. I think I've seen that hill on some prime times or on TV or something. I'm pretty sure I've seen the hill. That's it.
Yeah, actually you have. Yeah, UFC Primetime, they actually filmed this. It was funny, we're running up the hill and they're in a minivan filming, and there's about 20 cars behind them honking, and I'm running up the hill with them, and I think, you know, I wonder if we should tell these guys that this is the only avenue up to the hospital, because there could potentially be somebody in a car back there that's in a hurry. So
right.
It was, yeah, same hill though.
Oh, crazy. Okay. Now, wow, this is gonna be hard to do, but I'm gonna we're gonna attempt to call our next guest, Team Jones fighter, Gilbert Jamal Smith Jr. Hopefully we'll get to reach him and ask him some questions here. And I know what you're thinking, guys, but this isn't some sort of ambush. Don't worry. We'll be okay. We'll get through this, all right? So let's see if we can reach a member from Team Jones. We are fair and balanced here on the Word on the Street podcast, just like Fox News, all right? Fair and balanced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now
we report, you decide.
that's right. Now let's see if we can get an answer.
This is a no spin zone over here.
That's right. No bullshit.
Hello?
Hey, Gilbert, is that you?
Yeah, man, that's me.
Hey, Gilbert, this is Ramses from the Word on the Street podcast. Also on the line is The Ninja, and also on the line is Coach Jamie Huey from Team Darkside. How you doing, Jamal?
I'm doing great, but I have to say something real quick. As long as Coach Jamie is on the line, I can't talk to you guys.
The enemy.
So tell Coach Jamie he has to get off the line because I refuse to talk while Team Darkside is also on the line.
You're going to take that, Coach?
Hey, Gilbert, I'll talk to you as long as you freaking got some clothes on, all right? Come on, man.
Well, I can't promise that. I can't promise that.
Oh, man. I bet. Are you wearing a shirt? Gilbert, are you wearing a shirt right now?
You know what's funny? I'm actually not, but at the same time, I am laying in bed.
They don't make shirts that big.
Yeah, you are pretty built. Gilbert, welcome to the Word on the Street podcast. This is the first time we've ever had anyone from Team Jones on the show, and a few of the diehard Sonnen fans, they gave me a hassle. They accused me of being a traitor. But I'd like you to help set the record straight, Mr. Gilbert Smith, because it turns out that you ended up getting along with Team Sonnen, aka Team Darkside, after it was all said and done. Is that right? Like, is the rivalry over now that filming is done, or was it over a long time ago? What's the deal?
Honestly, I never had a rivalry with Team Sonnen. I kind of felt like at times they supported me more than anybody else. And the reason why I say that is that, don't get me wrong, my guys on my team was awesome. But certain guys on my team was really awesome to me. But it was certain things that the coaches said to me, and certain things that like even Kevin Casey, Uriah, Zach said to me after my fight when I lost. It was like they showed like a lot of respect for me, and it was like, as I looked to my team, I could see in the eyes that, they was kind of disappointed because I lost control for them. Mm-hmm. But as I looked to Team Sonnen, I saw that they gained respect for me. Like they realized, man, I'm a tough guy, I'm a respectable guy, and they showed me a lot of respect. So yeah. I never had a problem with anybody on Team Sonnen at all. It was all professional business. Yeah,
that's kind of what it looks like so far in the show too, and that's good to hear. But I have to verify what you just said, Coach Huey. I got my listeners here, the Sonnen fans, their hair's standing up on the back of their necks right now. They don't know if this is a setup or what. Now, Coach Huey, do you vouch for Gilbert here? Is he a legit honorary member of the Dark Side?
Absolutely. Gilbert was one of those guys, man. We have inadvertently through Chris Camozzi, we already kind of had a relationship. Chris comes up and trains with us sometimes, and Gil does a lot of work with Chris, and so Gilbert would have been one of those guys, man, that we would have loved to have on our team. It just didn't quite happen with the way that it worked out, but there were some real solid guys over on that team, man, and Gilbert was definitely a guy that you can't not like the guy. I mean, he's got a great attitude. He's laughing. He's running around in his underwear. I mean,
Coach, I'm about to start crying again. And you know me, I cry for 5 seconds.
That's true, man. There's a lot of crying going on this season.
There has been.
I don't know what's going on over there, but yeah, man. No, Gilbert is solid, man. I mean, he was he's an honorary Team Darkside member for sure.
Excellent. His word is good enough for me, and it should be good enough for all of our listeners. You hear me? Gilbert Jamal Smith Jr. is legit. He is a nice guy. And yeah, we saw you joking on the show tonight. with Team Sonnen. But yeah, you were touching on this just now a little bit. But so far on The Ultimate Fighter, from what we've seen, they're making Team Jones out to look pretty disorganized and non-supportive of each other and pretty negative overall. I mean, that's the impression that we're getting. I mean, is that all just trick editing, or was that really the vibe during the first few weeks of the tournament?
Okay, so first and foremost, John Jones is a great guy. The coaches was really awesome. I don't think that they did support me a lot. Although John Jones, did pick me for the fight, and then after that he stuck with that pick. I'm not too sure if those reasons was for the right reason why he stayed with the pick. But the thing is like this. I asked John Jones in the room. I said, John, why did you pick me for this fight? And he was like, because of your confidence. I was like, that's it? Like, that's it? I mean, okay, I'm like a day out from fighting this guy. You can't come up with at least a generic, man, I picked you because, the submission you got, that slam you got, I can see you really strong. Yeah. You can go out there and do your thing. He was like, because of your confidence. Frank Mir actually jumped in and was like, well, I think the pick was done because your size and your wrestling and this and that. Frank Mir actually was the one that gave me some positive, some real feedback. John Jones didn't really say too much. And now, also, if you watch when I lost, after fighting, the best fight that I could possibly fight, considering the circumstances when I lost, you look into John Jones' eyes in the video, it looked like he was ready, he kind of turned his back on me and walked away. Yeah. That's the way I felt.
Yeah. He also made a comment in that episode that I did want to ask you about that. I believe he said something like you came into the fight with it already being lost, something along those lines. Like that's not something that's like almost on him as the coach. Like what? Like what is he? How did that feel watching that episode? I mean, did you even watch the episode?
No, I watched it. I watched it almost every day.
Yeah.
The thing is that for John to say that, John doesn't know me. And particularly back then, he didn't know me. That was like the first week. So he's making arbitrary statements that's based on a lot of fallacies. Yeah. Particularly fallacies that was predated by other people on the team. John never gave me a really good look, and he just kind of jumped out there and say, I want you to fight Luke first. And that was fine. I was totally fine with that. I wanted that. I wasn't going to run away from that. But if you watch the fight, and if you can watch the fight with a mind frame, you realize that I fought a good fight. I got caught, but it wasn't a bad fight. I didn't go out there and get beat up. I didn't quit. I never gave up. When John was like, I don't think cardio should ever be a reason why somebody should lose a fight. Listen, if I had cardio issues, when Luke took me down, I would try to pull guard and try to hug him and hold him. Yeah. I have to say, I love the kid, but that's what Kevin did.
Yep.
In tonight's episode, he got taken down and he just kind of pulled guard and held on.
Yeah.
When Luke took me down, Luke was the biggest guy. He was a big guy in height and weight. I got my butt back up every single time. I never stopped. So I just felt like John threw me under the bus. He didn't give me no props, showed me no love. And that's okay, because particularly at that time, he really didn't know me. But, it hurt. It hurt.
No, I hear you, man. And obviously I was a Team Sonnen supporter. I am, of course. But in that fight, you did have me scared, man. You had me scared at several points. That was a good fight. Yeah, up until the end, I was like, oh, who knows, man. And that was an epic fight.
I co-sign that too. I mean, it was a good fight. He got caught obviously with the knee, but it wasn't like, and Luke's got a phenomenal skill set, which speaks highly of Gilbert, because that really was a close fight, and until Gilbert got caught. But I mean, he was in the fight. He wasn't like he was getting picked off or anything.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, Gilbert, I do on a lighter note, I do follow you on Twitter here. At first it was just keeping your enemies close, that sort of thing. but no, you're a good guy. I see on Twitter that what's the word on the street? What's up with you being on like an ESPN sports radio station like almost every day? Like, are you thinking about going into the radio business or something? What's the word on the street about that?
Oh man, I don't know about going into radio. I mean, that'd be awesome. That'd be ideal. But it's like this. So they contacted me through a friend about doing an interview, and I did one, and they loved it. I kind of have this knack to just get on the radio and just really speak from a genuine standpoint, and to be able to articulate myself in a manner that kind of reaches out to people, which is kind of a big contradiction to the way I came up. Because what people don't know in my background is that growing up as a kid, I had a very bad stuttering problem. It was horrendous. It was bad, really bad. And even till today, I still find myself stuttering or stammering as I try to say particular words. So for me to get on the radio and speak like I have a half a brain and speak well, it's an honor and a huge compliment. And every week they want me back, and then other people's calling to do more interviews, and it's just been really awesome. A lot of support.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. Yeah, good luck to you. You should start your own podcast, man. It's if I can do it, anybody can do it, man. And it's fun. And it really is fun.
Well, just to give you a little bit of an insight of my life.
Yep.
Is that okay? So I'm a fighter. I'm trying to be in the UFC and all that great stuff. People understand that. So people understand the amount of hours I have to dedicate to training. I'm also a master trainer at 24 Hour Fitness in Colorado Springs, Southgate. I also run and teach my own MMA school, Victory MMA. That's my own school that I teach every class.
Oh, nice.
I also, I'm in school obtaining my dual masters in project management in my MBA. And I also have a wife and 3 kids.
Oh, man.
So, so like doing a podcast, like, forget about it, like,
oh, wow.
Having the time for that.
Well, in that case, thank you for your time tonight, man. I didn't know you had all that going on. I wouldn't have called you, man. I apologize now. Damn.
Nah, man, it's an honor, bro. But, it's funny because my wife is downstairs watching episodes of The Walking Dead, and we was watching that. Oh, nice. I mean, we basically just got hooked on that show in the last couple of days. But
hell yeah.
To be on the phone with you and Coach Jamie, it's an honor, and Ninja, I haven't heard him speak yet, but it's an honor, man.
Well, actually, let's let the Ninja speak. Ninja, man, you're on with Gilbert Smith Jr. from Team Jones. Now, I don't know what your attitude is here, but take it easy, Ninja. He's a friend now. You're on if you got any questions for him.
I'm just shocked over here that there's actually a Team Jones. I thought it was all just CGI.
It's for real, man. It's for real.
It's really a Team Jones, man.
I had to pull a lot of strings to make this happen, Ninja.
No, you seem like a really straight up dude. It is really good having you on. You're amazing in your fight to come into the house. You beat, I think it's Eric Wallin. I pronounce it right?
Wallen, something like that.
Wallen, by amazing arm triangle, and that got you noticed by me on my little unofficial. This is the guy that I want on my team. Take us back to that, man. I mean, take us back to that day, that fight. Was it just another fight, or because obviously this is huge. Wow,
I tell you what. Okay, so first and foremost, I was actually warming up with Chael Sonnen team, actually Coach Jamie. He held a miss for me for a quick second, and it was so wild because you find out about the fight a day before. So there's not a lot of preparation, and you don't know the guy, you don't know his fighting style. You may know his record if you get a chance to look at the paper, but everything was really in the unknown. And even when you're warming up with the coaches don't know you. So like as me and Coach Jamie, he was holding the miss for me. He was trying to get my feel, my rhythm, my range, my timing. I'm trying to do the same thing. It was all so weird. I saw the grappling with Vinny. It was like everything was just like a filling out process. And then boom, it's time for you to go fight.
Yeah.
So now you go out there and you fight, and like I'm trying to test the waters. This guy, is he a wrestler? Is he a grappler? Is he a kickboxer? What is he? So I touch him, pulled back, I kicked him, I actually missed, and he tried kicking me. But he gave me my biggest gift. He tried kicking me. And I'm very good at catching kicks. And he kicked me, drove him to the cage, picked him up, slammed him. got the arm triangle, and I tell you what, bro, when I locked that arm triangle up, and I knew I had it, I squeezed like, oh my God, I knew this guy was going to go out. He was done, and I knew it. And I was saying to myself, I can't believe I won this fight. It was like unbelievable, and how I won it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a victory, man. Coach Huey, you on the first to the fights to get into the house. Gilbert says you hit the mitts with him. You were actually cornering him for that first fight. There were 16 other fighters or something like that you also saw. Do you remember him from that day, or was he just another face? What's the deal?
Oh yeah. He was a guy that could barely get through the doorway because his shoulders are so. Guy was huge, man. That was single-handedly the weirdest day I've ever had, probably as a coach.
Yeah.
32 guys show up, and all right, half of them go in that room and half of them go in this room, and it was exactly how Gilbert said. We didn't know anybody, and nobody knew us. I knew a couple guys, but not really. And you're in there warming these guys up, and you don't even know their name, let alone the guy they're fighting. And at one point, I was walking out to the cage, and I think maybe it was Clayton or somebody, and I had to look over at Clayton. I go, "What's our guy's name again?" And it wasn't Gilbert because we had kind of knew Gilbert through Chris Camozzi, but.
Okay.
It was funny because Chris kept texting me when I was over there. Hey man, how's Gilbert doing? How's Gilbert doing?
Oh, nice.
And I couldn't say nothing to him. I felt bad. Chris is my boy, but I'm like, I can't say nothing. So
Yeah.
I asked Chell, I'm like, hey Chell, I go, Chris keeps texting me, man. He wants to know how Gil's doing. He goes, oh man, I can't say nothing. I'm like, yeah, man, I know, but I feel bad.
Yep.
And so it was just a weird day, man. You're like exactly like he explained it. There's all these guys over there, you don't know them, and you're warming them up, and you're trying to get them ready to fight a guy that you don't know anything about. And Coach Scott got kicked in the face. Somebody hit me with a jab.
I remember that. I was there.
Yeah,
I saw that.
I remember that.
Oh,
yeah, it was really a weird day, but absolutely I remember Gilbert.
Nice. It's a damn shame he wasn't on Team Sonnen, and how different things might have been. Oh man.
Yeah, well, Gil, you're still coming up to train with us, aren't you?
Yeah, I actually just last week I bought my tickets. I'll be there from March 23rd to April 6th for 2 weeks.
Perfect, man. Awesome. I know Luke comes up Sunday, and then I think Jimmy's right around the same time you are. So.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have Luke Barnett on next week actually as the guest. Thanks to Coach Jamie Huey for hooking that up. Ninja, did you have any other last question for Gilbert before we go to the Twitter mailbag of questions?
I just had talking with Jimmy earlier, and I told him I'd ask you this, Gilbert. There's something about this rap thing that we did tonight, and
man.
And Jimmy was pointing out that he owns you in that. Is there any truth to that? Or?
Jimmy, I love Jimmy. I love Jimmy. He's crazy. He's a little bit delusional, and that no. I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying? There's no way I'm gonna let some dude from Boston out rap me. So that thing's no way close to being the truth.
Yeah.
So the word on the street is that Jimmy did not beat you in that rap battle. Is that what I'm getting here? Because I'm sure we're gonna have Jimmy on.
What a weird phone. That's a weird.
The thing is, I kind of felt like at times I even beat King.
Yeah, man. I thought you laid it down pretty good, man. And they showed you actually had the most airtime with your flow. So I think that was probably for a reason, right? Yeah.
You know what? It's funny because although I fought first and I lost that fight, it's good to see that I'm still on the TV. I don't want to come off like a big joke, but I did have a good time. I was joking around a lot because the house was so stressful.
Yeah.
And the thing was, I was doing like cool jokes. So like I wasn't running around getting drunk and acting crazy because the first one I don't even drink.
Oh, good.
but always kind of being semi-naked. It was kind of funny to me, like because everybody was like all like all kind of bent out of shape about it, which just made it even more funnier.
Yeah. Put your shirt on. Oh man. No, screw that, man. If I was Gilbert Jamal Smith, if I had the body of a Jamal Smith, man, I wouldn't be wearing a shirt, man. I'm wearing a hoodie right now. It's ridiculous.
True story.
Yep. Now, Gilbert, I ask every guest on the Word on the Street podcast this question. And I guess it's time we got an opinion from a member of the rival team to answer. This will be interesting. Even though you're somewhat on both sides, Team Darkside and Team Sonnen and Team Jones, sorry. I was just wondering, UFC 159 in New Jersey, Chael Sonnen versus Jon Jones. How do you see that fight going? No bullshit. Give us your totally honest fight prediction if you can.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, let's break down a couple of key notes. I was actually born in Jersey. That fight is like 10 minutes from my father's house.
Oh wow.
Going to be there. Obviously, I didn't get to see Jon Jones really train. Obviously, I saw how Jon Jones fight. Everybody seen him fight. Chael, same way.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that matchup, I could honestly say, it is a tough fight for Chael.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that just dealing with Jon Jones' reach is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, yeah, right. But it's funny because Luke is actually taller than Jon Jones. He's 6'6", Jon Jones 6'4", but Luke have a shorter reach than Jon Jones.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think is the secret? What do you think is the right tactic to use when someone has a big reach advantage over you? Now, looking back on your fight,
you got to get that takedown, and you got to be able to hold him down.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have good boxing, like I saw a couple punches I threw just at the. But if I could have touched Luke, because I throw some heat on there, like it was like a 4-punch combo with a power 3 and with a power front hook, and I saw I barely grazed him, and that's just simply off the fact that if he was 6'2", I would have clipped him.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So fighting a long, rangy person, it is difficult, and the fact that Jon Jones is so dynamic with his attack. But here's the key with Chael: we never seen Jon Jones on his back.
Yep, that's true.
And if anybody that could put him on his back would be Chael.
Oh yeah.
So style makes fights, and it's about what could implement the game plan.
I hear you. So all right, so just totally honest here. I  got to know bottom line though: Chael Sonnen or Jon Jones? Who's your pick to win? You tried to dodge it. You tried, man. This is the Word on the Street podcast here, man. It's the Word on the Street podcast. What's the word from Gilbert Jamal Smith? If you had to bet money.
Well, okay.
We won't kill you, man. We won't. I promise.
Okay. Well, I tell you, I hate predicting fights. I tell you what, because it's funny, man. Like the last fight card, I was so wrong on almost every fight.
Me too, man.
Yes, so was I.
I thought Overeem was going to kill Bigfoot. I thought Rashad was going to get an easy win over Little Nog, and I love the Nigerians. Actually, Big Nog is like my hero. But Chael and Jon Jones, I say this. If it goes to a decision, it'd be Chael. If it ends quick, it may be Jon.
All right, we'll take that. We'll let you get out of here alive, I guess. You should be a politician, all right? If the fighting in the radio gig doesn't work out, you're gonna be a politician, man. I do. We will go to the Twitter mailbag now. We have questions for both Coach Jamie Huey and Gilbert that came in. And then we'll wrap this up. Thank you guys both for your time. But we just have a few questions that came from the Twitter universe. The first question is for both of you. We'll let Coach Jamie Huey answer first, and then we'll get Gilbert's answer. This is from Gavin on Twitter. The question is, Do they believe in aliens or conspiracy theories? That's the question. Do you believe in alien life or any conspiracy theories? It's a pretty general question. We'll hit up Coach Jamie Huey with this ridiculousness first.
Oh, man. I'll probably say both.
Yeah? No kid. You think there's life out there? You think they're watching us?
Yeah, I think there's a good possibility of it.
I hear you. All right. How about you, Gilbert? Do you believe in aliens or any conspiracy theories?
Let's see here. Aliens, you know what? Yeah, man, I also believe in werewolves and vampires and zombies. Yeah. You know, I'm actually waiting for the zombie apocalypse. I'm so down for that.
That's right. You're watching The Walking Dead, right? What are you on the first season or the second one, or I think they're on
second season. I just think I could survive it. I just think I'd be straight up and agile enough. You know, my army training. I just I could survive a zombie apocalypse.
That's true. You were in the military actually. What the army, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. How long did you serve?
About 6.5 years.
Holy shit, man. Oh, what do you think about the Bin Laden shooter? I don't know if you heard the story yet. The guy who shot Bin Laden, he retired after 16 years instead of 20, so he's not getting his insurance paid for. What have you heard about that? What do you think about that?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Yeah.
I barely keep up with the news. I'm horrible at that. But yeah, you know, hook me up. Tell me what happened.
Yeah. The guy who shot Bin Laden, he did an interview for Esquire magazine, totally anonymous. He's keeping his name, you know, private or whatever. But apparently, he retired like in the past year. He after 16 years of service, and so since he didn't go the full 20. The government, if you can believe this, they're not even paying him any insurance. They're not covering his insurance anymore. He's looking for a job. He's basically been screwed. The guy who killed Bin Laden. So he did this whole story. He just talked about exactly like what happened on that mission. He gave the details. He said he shot Bin Laden 3 times in the head, and then the rest of the Marines shot him or the Navy SEALs shot him while he was dead. After he was dead. It's a good article. I'll link it to you afterwards, man. But obviously being former military though, the Bin Laden kill, that probably meant a lot to you, right? Were you proud, or did you get out of the military because you weren't proud?
Well, no, I'm very proud. I'm definitely proud of the military. I am proud of my brothers that are still currently serving. And the thing is, you know, Osama was definitely something I had to be taken care of, considering that I'm from New York, so I lived there. I lived in Jersey, and seeing what happened with the Twin Towers definitely affected me and in my family. You know, I don't exactly agree with us still being over there or being in Iraq at all, because I think the Iraq war was a little bit of a BS. But the way that guy is being treated is you know, sometimes, you know, it's crazy how we treat our heroes.
Yep.
Like, they ask the world from us, and then when we deliver, and deliver in a way that we sacrifice so much, and then when it's time for us to ask them for something, you know, they are nowhere to be found. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm very sad to hear that he's going through that, and hopefully somebody would can correct this.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a weird story, man. I'll have to link it to you. It's bizarre, man. But yeah, on a lighter note here, we do have just a couple more questions for you, and then we'll wrap up this podcast here. Question coming in from AMS, for Gilbert. She's wondering, how's your vision when you're fighting? Because we noticed that you do wear glasses. So if you start out with blurry vision in round 1, how is it? How does that fight typically go? Like, is that a factor when you fight? Like, what's up with the glasses?
No. Well, okay. Well, my glasses, my vision is very good. But as far as the fight goes, the person in front of me, I can see him. I mean, he's not that far in front of me that I can't like, you know, see him punching, kicking, or whatever. I mean, but like the cage, I can't see his facial expression. So actually, most of my fights, I don't even look at my opponent, because I'm not going to sit there trying to strain my eyes and try to eye him down and I could barely see him. It looked stupid. So I like to relax and turn to my coach and look to my coaches as they give me words of encouragement. We go over the game plan and stuff like that. Obviously, these last two fights was a little bit different because I didn't have the connection with the coaches, so I didn't really have a lot to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
But me not having glasses don't really affect my performance at all.
Good.
I mean, me not having contacts.
Yeah, good to hear. I always wondered about that because I wear glasses too. It's ridiculous. Now we have a question that came in from a Mr. Jimmy Quinlan for Gilbert. Mr. Jimmy Quinlan on Twitter.
Oh, no.
It says this one's pretty. It says it's pretty tame. I think I don't know what the answer is. It says ask him where he got his fight name Gilbert Gigantor Smith from. LOL.
Ha ha, Gigantor. So,
what's the deal with the nickname?
First of all, I really hate the name Gigantor. It's kind of funny. It may actually it may actually grow on me a little bit. But what happened was when I first started my amateur career, the announcer for the show in Colorado Springs, No Mercy, his name was Bumpy. He asked me for my nickname, and I was like, I don't have one. Just come up with something. So then I'm coming out to the cage. I'm in the cage, and he's like, in the red corner, we got Gilbert Gigantor Smith. And I was like, Gigantor? Like, really? Yeah, but, I was like, whatever. And after that, I kept fighting. So then he kept calling me Gigantor. Then, like, by the time I turned pro, and, like, my third pro fight, I was like, bro, we got to come up with something else. we got to switch it up. And he finally came up, because I was getting so many submission wins, he finally called me the specialist.
Nice, the specialist. I think that was a movie, wasn't it, with like Antonio Banderas? Yeah. I need to watch that movie again. All right.
That's a reference to your military career, right?
Well, you know what? I mean, I never even thought about that, but no, he just called me a specialist because I kept submitting people. If you look at my record, out of I had 7 amateur, 6 pro with 1 loss, and out of 13 fights, I have like 11 submissions.
Nice.
Holy shit. Yeah, I was looking at your record, Gilbert. Most of them are rear naked chokes, from what I saw, man. Is that just what is your background exactly? Is it wrestling that?
Well, yeah. Well, I wrestled a little bit, but it's mostly jiu-jitsu training, and then I spent a lot of time overseas. I spent a lot of time in Amsterdam working on my kickboxing. I went to Muay. I went to Thailand to work on my Muay Thai. But the thing is, like, as a fighter, I don't have a particular area where I attack. It's not like, oh, I want to get his back. That's my favorite place to be. Or I want to get an arm bar. That's my favorite place to be. I like to be a thinking fighter and be intelligent and find weaknesses, and then I try to attack it. And then people like, how come you got no knockouts? Well, you know what I mean? People I've dropped in fights, I've dropped them. They fell to the ground, and I'll jump on their back and submit. Because I'm not going to sit there and try to ground and pound them. And I hurt my hand. Because I actually broke my hand in a fight before doing that.
Yeah.
So if you look at my pro debut, the guy came rushing at me. I caught him with a 2-3, dropped him, took him out, then I beat him up and I submitted him.
Nice.
So I never had that one person knockout fight, but I've dropped people and I hurt them, and then I submit them.
Yeah, and you're damn good at that, man. Yeah, your record was pretty damn impressive. Undefeated in your amateur run. That must have felt good, man. Holy shit. So, and that record don't even cover like some of the other fights I had in the military and combatives and the different things. Yeah. Oh, and maybe the coach knows. Coach Huey, or maybe Gilbert would know better. Like, I noticed that the fight that took place during the Ultimate Fighter, the 2 fights aren't listed on Gilbert's record. They're not listed on your record, Gilbert. Does that get? Is that an official? Like, is that a pro fight? How does that get ranked? How does that work? Either of you, if you know. I have no idea.
No, I know.
Yeah, go ahead, Gil.
So basically, for a couple of different things, those are not considered, professional bouts. They are because of the fact that the results cannot be released So they are, and they're also only 2 rounds for the most part. So they are not like going to be on your official record because those are not like official professional bouts. But actually, the semifinals that happens in the house, those will be on your UFC record, and even those are not on your professional record, except for the finals or the finale.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Huh.
Exhibition bouts.
That's weird.
That's what they call.
That's weird because like it is a UFC fight, but it is like a dark match almost on your record. That's crazy. That's nuts.
Yeah, I know. It kind of sucks, because people say I'm 5-1 as a pro, but I'm really like 6-2. But whatever.
No, hell, you'll take it, right? Shit. Coach Huey.
Yeah.
Gilbert, he mentioned that he's coming up there to train up there for a visit. He'll be in your area. I got to say, man, you have to turn him completely to the dark side. I want to see a photo of Gilbert actually wearing a shirt, a Team Sonnen shirt. All right.
I don't know if they make them that.
If there's one, that's true.
Okay.
We might have to.
So I have a question.
Together.
Hold on. Okay, so I have a question. I have a very important question for you, big guy. Why are you Team Jones so much?
Wait, are you asking Coach Huey or me?
No, you.
Why am I against Team Jones? Oh man, how much time you got, buddy?
Yeah.
How much time you got? All right, let's start.
Well, I tell you this. Okay. Let me break down the team.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna speak bad about anybody, but y'all could probably see the people that wasn't my biggest fan. But either way, it's all good. First of all, Dylan, you couldn't find a cooler cat. He's either Kiwi from Australia, New Zealand to be exact. And this guy, he respected everybody. He was just a lovable dude, man. I love that. I love that guy. Clint, I don't care what team you're on. Nobody had a problem with Clint. Once again, another respectable dude. The guy, he looked ferocious, but he's like the coolest dude ever. Adam, Adam was very funny, intelligent. He kept the whole house, everybody laughing. Collin, Collin did the whole middle finger thing, which really surprised everybody because we didn't think that was in his character.
Yeah. And it really did. It blew everybody away.
But Collin is another really nice guy if you got past the middle finger thing. I guess the two biggest guys that really kind of probably rubbed people the wrong way was probably Bubba and Josh, and even those guys had their good moments. All around it, I personally thought everybody in the house was cool people, and I tell people, before I started this, I wasn't Team Jones. I wasn't Team Sonnen. Mm-hmm. And you can hate me, but this is the truth. I was Team Gilbert. And the reason why I say this is because at the end of the day, I don't know none of these guys, and none of these guys is going to help me get anywhere. What it comes down to is that I came on the show to become the next Ultimate Fighter, true, but I also came on the show to become the best fighter I could possibly. I needed to learn. I learned from my coaches, Frank Mir, Ricky Lundell, Bubba Jenkins, Stonehorse, John Jones, John Woods, but I also wanted to learn from Cheryl Solomon, Clayton, Jamie, Scott, Vinny. I want to learn from everybody, from all the fighters and all the coaches. Some people had a problem with that, but it's my career, and I just want to grow and have this opportunity to learn from everybody.
Yeah, that's what I would have done, man, for damn sure. Now, you brought up. This brings us to our last question before we wrap things up here. You brought up Clint Hester, your teammate. He actually sent in a Twitter question for you, Gilbert. It says, I asked him to just, if he, I did instigate it. I asked him if he had any ridiculous questions for you. And he said, just ask him if he has relapsed since the show. LOL. What does that mean?
Clint, that mofo.
What does that mean?
Man.
What's he talking about? What's the word on the street?
Oh man, that's bad. That's bad.
Oh, you might not even be able to tell it, huh? Is that the?
No, I can't tell.
All right. Okay.
Oh
So
man.
there you.
Wow, that was better than Jimmy's.
It was,
Yeah.
wow. Now we're just gonna wonder, man. And now the people that are anti Team Jones, they're just gonna be like, see, he ain't answering the question.
Well, I tell you this much. To answer Clint's question, I haven't relapsed. I've been very good. I've been learning ways to stay focused and to find other ways to occupy my free time. It was funny because we was all talking about a certain topic and things we like to do. And I happened to mention one thing that I like to do that people laugh about, and I tell them, it was something I actually kind of do more often than I probably should. And so being in the house, you couldn't do anything. Like all your normal, typical stuff you do, you couldn't do it. So I was able to quit it cold turkey, and I've been doing good.
Okay.
Oh man, that's too much information.
I got
Come on, Clint. Why you gotta bring that up?
I got to know, Coach Huey, without of course, saying it. It's obviously is a matter of privacy here. Coach Huey, do you know what the fuck he's talking about?
Man, I'm not touching this one.
All right, fair enough. But yes, we did actually, he is hiding things as typical of what you'll see from Team Jones people out there listening. But he did come on the show. He did have the nerve. He had the balls. Gilbert Smith came on this show, faced the enemy, and became a friend. And now you are very much, Gilbert Smith, always welcome on the Word on the Street podcast. You are a Team Darkside.
That's awesome.
You are a Team Darkside family member and friend. I am now officially a fan. I can't thank you enough for coming on. It was great. Hopefully you'll be on again here, and hopefully we'll see you fight again on the show, man. There's always that wild card slot that Coach.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But
I tell you what. You are now an official member of Team Jones.
All right.
I know you wanted that. So here you go. Because you sound like a really cool dude. So I'm gonna bring you over to the light side.
I'm gonna be the biggest damn spy in the camp that you have ever seen, man. The spy in Rampage's camp from 2 years ago ain't got nothing on me, man. I'm gonna be selling you guys out, dude. But no, Gilbert, it was great having you on. Tell us where people can contact you, find you, look you up. Your Twitter, your Facebook. What's up, man? What's up?
Yeah, for sure. Please hit me up on Twitter. Follow me. I have a lot of big things happening, and I definitely want the world to be a part of it. Anybody that contacts me via Facebook or Twitter, I respond. It's just something I want to do to keep in contact with the fans and make everybody get to know Gilbert Jamal Smith, the real Gilbert Jamal Smith. So contact me on Twitter at Jamal Smith MMA, or contact me on Facebook at Gilbert Jamal Smith, and please go out and check out my official fan page under Gilbert Jamal Smith, and also check out my school page on Victory MMA. So if you contact me, you hit me up, you say, man, how you doing? I'm going to say hi back. That's just where I am.
Excellent. Now, Coach Jamie Huey, thanks again for coming on Tuesday After Tough podcast. We'll be doing this next week. But, Coach, I can't thank you enough for hosting as well. As always, where can people reach you and contact you? And, what's up? Again, you have a new gym. You should always plug that. I am still working on the commercial. It'll be up next week.
Oh, absolutely. The gym is One MMA, www.one-mma.com. A couple plugs here. I've got my female Lightning Liz McCarthy making her pro boxing debut March 16th at the Seven Feathers in Canyonville, Oregon. Excited about that. Also holding a amateur boxing event here in Beaverton, Oregon, March 2nd at the Beaverton Powell Boxing Gym. My website is www.coachjamiehuey.com. Still in progress, but we're working on it. Shout out to the Team Darkside coaches, Scott, Clayton, Vinny, Mr. Mike Doce, and our next breakout star, Tommy Leesman, I believe, is making his tough appearance next weekend. Also give a shout out to all the guys at Team Jones, co-signing what Gilbert said, man. Solid guys, Clint and Adam and all those guys, man. They feel like they're part of our team, just as the same as our guys were. And then next week, man, get ready for KGV Bubba, and also look forward to watching the charades at the Tough House. Gilbert a co-sign on that, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, man.
Awesome. Now, we also want to give a little shout out to Ninja, our co-host. You can contact him at The Real Last Outlaw on Twitter. Thanks again, Ninja, man. Now, we'll all say good night to each other right here. But once again, I just wanted to thank Coach Jamie Huey for referring us to probably the only Team Jones member that you can trust out there. We did welcome him into our camp. The enemy came in and he drank our wine. If he had been here in person, I would have passed him the joint I'm smoking right now. Gilbert Smith, thank you so much for coming on. Coach Jamie Huey, thank you as well, and the Ninja. We will see you next week, but let's all just say good night to each other, gentlemen, and we will end this. Good night, guys.
Okay, cool. Make sure I get a link to this podcast so I can blast it out.
Yeah, it'll be out in about, as long as it takes me to upload it to YouTube, it will be out.
Awesome, brother. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Coach, I'll see you soon.
Good night, everybody. We're out.